Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we are not in Kansas anymore, or New York anymore. We have now shifted to London, and we'll be doing some readings while we're here visiting. Like to apologize for the fact that we missed a day in a reading, and we beg forgiveness for that, but we're gonna get back on it now, get back on the horse. We fell off the wagon, now we're gonna get back on. So,
Canto 4, Chapter 24, Text 19.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
The great, text 19, the great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, because of their pious nature, all the sons of Prachina Bahi very seriously accepted the words of their father with heart and soul. And with these words on their heads, they went toward the west to execute their father's order. Purport. In this verse, Sadhava means pious or well-behaved. It's very important, especially at the present moment. It is derived from the word sadhu. A perfect sadhu is one who is always engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prachina Bahi sons are described as sadhava because of their complete obedience to their father. The father, king, and spiritual master are supposed to be representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such they have to be respected as the Supreme Lord. It is the duty of the father, the spiritual master, and the king to regulate their subordinates in such a way that they ultimately become fully unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Lord. That is the duty of the superiors, and it is the duty of the subordinates to obey their orders perfectly and in a disciplined way. The word Shirasa on their heads is also significant, for the Prachetas accepted the orders of their father and carried them on their heads, which means they accepted them in complete surrender. So interesting. I like the explanation of carried them on their heads, because you hear that a lot in the Bhagavatam, or this carried the instructions on their head. And Prabhupada explains it means it's that they were accepted fully, like in complete surrender. That's what it means. It doesn't mean they wrote it out on a piece of paper and put it on their heads.
Thank you for that explanation. I'm sure all of you were wondering exactly what that meant.
Well, I read it a lot on
that's helped to clarify it.
Purports. I think it's also important. Prabhupada is saying that we have to be completely subordinate to the Father, the spiritual master, and the King. Unfortunately, two of the three is not really present now. I don't know anyone that's really completely subordinate to King Charles. And unfortunately, not everyone is, the father doesn't have that same respect, like, yeah. And then maybe spiritual masters, but I think we have to remember, they operate on another level which is far beyond what we can even fathom in our current state. So we have to be careful if we judge them.
That's for sure. Okay, so we'll move on. Text 20. While traveling, the Prachetas happened to see a great reservoir of water which seemed almost as big as the ocean. The water of this lake was so calm and quiet that it seemed like the mind of a great soul, and its inhabitants, the aquatics, appeared very peaceful and happy to be under the protection of such a watery reservoir. Purport. The word Sa Samudra means near the sea. The reservoir of water was like a bay, for it was not very far from the sea. The word Upa, meaning more or less, is used in many ways, as in the word Upapati, which indicates a husband, more or less. That is to say, a lover who is acting like a husband. Upa also means greater, smaller, or nearer. Considering all these points, the reservoir of water which was seen by the Prachetas while they were traveling was actually a large bay or lake. And unlike the sea or ocean, which has turbulent waves, this reservoir was very calm and quiet. Indeed, the water was so clear that it seemed like the mind of some great soul. There may be many great souls, Gyanis, Yogis, and Bhaktas, or pure devotees, are also called great souls, but they are very rarely found. One can find many great souls amongst yogis and gyanis, but a truly great soul, a pure devotee of the Lord who is fully surrendered to the Lord, is very rarely found. Samahatma sadurlabha, Bhagavad Gita 7:19. A devotee's mind is always calm, quiet, and desireless because he is always anyabhilashita shunyam, having no desire other than to serve as his personal servant, having no desire other than to serve Krishna as his personal servant, friend, father, mother, or conjugal lover. Due to his association with Krishna, a devotee is always very calm and cool. It is also significant that within the reservoir all the aquatics were also very calm and quiet, because the disciples of a devotee have taken shelter of a great soul. They become very calm and quiet and are not agitated by the waves of the material world. Such an instructive paragraph, so powerful, and how unendingly easy it is to be disturbed by the material energy and by the things that happen to us in day-to-day life, to remain calm. Yeah, and that analogy of just looking at this lake or bay, which is near the sea, and to see that it's very still and very calm, because sometimes water, according to the wind, according to the moon, according to so many different things, could be very choppy and shaky and agitated, turbulent. So just seeing this as being very, very calm and bringing to the forefront of our own mind that actually this is the way that we should be in all situations. Yeah, nice instruction. One of those things that sounds perfect in theory, but to put into practice is not always so easy. Yeah, so like that. Any thoughts? Okay.
This material world is often described as an ocean of omniscience. In such an ocean, everything is agitated. The mind of a great devotee is also like an ocean or a very large lake, but there is no agitation. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.41, Vaya Vaya Satmika Buddhe Ekeha Kuru Nandana.
Vyava Satmaka.
It's not va.
It is
It's
Vya.
not via. That's what I said. Via Vaya Satmika.
It's not Via, it's Vya.
Who said
The pronunciation guide and people who speak properly.
Those who are fixed in the service of the Lord are not agitated by anything.
Okay.
There's no diacritics.
What diacritic for what?
It's also stated in Bhagavad Gita 6.22. Yasmin stito na dukke na guru na pi vichalyate. Even if he suffers some reversals in life, a devotee is never agitated. Wow. Therefore, whoever takes shelter of a great soul or a great devotee becomes pacified. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 19.149, it is stated, Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ataiva Shanta. A devotee of Krishna, Lord Krishna, is always peaceful because he has no desire, whereas the yogis, karmis and jnanis have so many desires to fulfill. One may argue that the devotees have desires, for they wish to go home back to Godhead, but such a desire does not agitate the mind. Although he wishes to go back to Godhead, a devotee is satisfied in any condition of life. Consequently, the word Mahan Mana is used in this verse to indicate that the reservoir of water was as calm and quiet as the mind of a great devotee.
Yeah.
What stood out for me was, he who ever takes shelter of a great soul or a great devotee becomes pacified. And that's interesting, and it's a nice little reminder about how we should be if we've taken shelter of a great soul, whether it's our own spiritual master or Prabhupada, the Shiksha Guru, like, so either Prabhupada and or his disciple. Yeah, we should think, okay, so what's stopping me from being pacified? Because they're so qualified to make me pacified. Okay, slacking in the sun, okay, doing this, doing that. You know, it's like a nice little test. Am I becoming peaceful, or am I turning more grisly?
Grizzly Adams.
Yeah, grizzly bear.
Okay, text 21. In that great lake, there were different types of lotus flowers. Some of them were bluish, some of them were red. Some of them grew at night, some in the day, and some like the Indivara lotus flower in the evening. Combined together, the lotus flowers filled the lake so full that the lake appeared to be a great mine of such flowers. Consequently, on the shores there were swans and cranes, chakravakas, karandavas, and other beautiful water birds standing about. Purport. The word akaram, mine, is significant in this verse, for the reservoir of water appeared like a mine from which different types of lotus flowers were produced. Some of the lotus flowers grew during the day, some at night, and some in the evening, and accordingly they had different names and different colors. All these flowers were present on that lake, and because the lake was so calm and quiet and filled with lotus flowers superior to birds like swans, chakravakas, and karandavas, stood on the shores and vibrated their different songs, making the entire scene attractive and beautiful. As there are different types of human beings according to the association of the three qualities of material nature, there are similarly different types of birds, bees, trees, etc. Everything is divided according to the three qualities of material nature. Birds, like swans and cranes, who enjoy clear waters and lotus flowers, are different from crows who enjoy filthy places. Similarly, there are persons who are controlled by the modes of ignorance and passion, and those who are controlled by the mode of goodness. The creation is so varied that there are always varieties found in every society. Thus, on the bank of this lake, all the superior birds live to enjoy that atmosphere created by the great reservoir filled with lotus flowers. Very interesting how Srila Prabhupada takes this purport to a place about the intricacies and the variety of elements or things in the material world according to the modes of material nature, and how the creation of a calm, peaceful space invites living entities, or living entities, because lotuses are also living entities, trees are living entities, invites living entities that are influenced primarily by the mode of goodness. So this whole space becomes mode of goodness, and it's unlikely you might see a crow, or let's say like a cactus, or some filth, or the aroma wouldn't be nasty. Everything would be more in the mode of goodness. So, yeah, and it's a beautiful description, very nice. You can just begin to picture this place that the Prachetas have come upon as a very tranquil, peaceful, beautiful lake. So like that. Okay, what do you think? Any thoughts? All right, so I think we'll call it a day. It's been an exciting reading. Hope you all were able to stay tuned in and stay awake.
I'm distracted by the dog.
Yeah, so there's some dogs outside the window. All right, wishing you all the best. Nice to be with you again. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Please don't
Krishna.
forget to read the Bhagavatam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.